Who are you when nobody can see you? Not your friends, not your family, not the person you're trying to impress, just you. Because there's a version of you that nobody knows exists. The version that stays up too late. The version that says, I'll start tomorrow. The version that opens the phone for 5 minutes and somehow loses an hour. And maybe you don't think much about those moments, but they reveal something important. Your private habits are quietly building your identity. When people are watching, it's easy to look disciplined. You can talk about your goals, you can tell people you're going to change, you can even convince yourself that you're becoming a better person. But when nobody is watching, there's no image to protect, no praise to earn, no one to impress. That's when your real patterns become visible. And here's the uncomfortable part. You don't become who you say you want to be. You become what you repeatedly do. If you constantly choose comfort when nobody is watching, you're training yourself to choose comfort. If you keep your promises to yourself when nobody will ever know, you're building something different. You're building self-trust, and most people don't realize how powerful that is, because confidence isn't always something you're born with. Sometimes confidence comes from knowing. When I tell myself I'm going to do something, I actually do it. Think about that. Every time you break a promise to yourself, even a tiny one, you teach your brain that your own words don't mean much. I'll study tonight. You don't. I'll stop scrolling. You don't. Tomorrow, I'll finally start. Tomorrow comes, and nothing changes. But here's where it gets interesting. The opposite is also true. Every small promise you keep when nobody is watching becomes evidence. Evidence that you can trust yourself. And eventually, that changes how you see yourself. But there's another side to this. Sometimes the things you do alone aren't just bad habits. Sometimes they're the parts of yourself you're afraid to admit. Maybe you're more insecure than you let people believe. Maybe you care much more about other people's opinions than you pretend. Maybe you're exhausted from trying to look like someone who has everything figured out. And that's not weakness. Noticing it is the beginning of changing it. Because you can't improve a version of yourself that you're constantly pretending doesn't exist. So tonight, when you're alone, pay attention. What do you do when nobody can see you? What do you avoid? What do you keep promising yourself? What do you do when there's no reward, no praise, and no one coming to check? Because that person isn't someone you should be ashamed of. That's the person you need to understand. And maybe the real question was never, who are you when nobody can see you? Maybe it's this. Who are you becoming every time nobody is watching?